Alrighty, so this video is about how to effectively find reports in Sugar. The reports live here under the reporting module. Reports are essentially just a way to organize the data in Sugar to help us digest it and to answer questions we have about it. As you can see, it could be a little intimidating to wade through all of the reports to find exactly what you're looking for, so we're going to go over some tips that will make this easier. You can, of course, start by checking out our article on useful reports in Sugar, which has links to those reports and short descriptions of the reports. But if you're looking for something that's not contained here, there's some additional steps you can take. Something you should know is that we try to essentially curate a list of reports that we think will be commonly used by councils and that are kept up to date. We mark these reports that we're sort of making sure are good with a hashtag or pound sign, if you want to go old school, and an exclamation point, otherwise referred to as a shebang. So my recommendation is to start your search by looking at these reports. You can just type those characters into the search bar and it should search. If it doesn't search right away, sometimes Sugar's funky, you just click this little refresh list and it will research for whatever terms you've provided it. So now you can see a list of all the shebang reports. To narrow it down further, because there are still a handful of these, we can add another filter. So we just hop on over here, go to Filter, Create. Now you can create any number of filters, but I find that it's particularly helpful to filter by module. Let me explain that a little. As I mentioned earlier, it helps to remember that at the core of every report is a question. The question is like that irritating grain of sand that gets in an oyster, and the report is the pearl that eventually gets built around it to make it easier for the oyster to deal with. Kind of a silly metaphor, but it helps me think about it. So I think of the module as the first layer of buildup that is added to that irritating question. There can be data from lots of modules in the report, but each report has to be built with only one module at its core or starting point. So before you go spelunking through these hundreds of reports, think to yourself, what question am I trying to answer? What data is at the core of my question? For instance, if you wanted to know about how much spending and coaching each childcare provider site was getting and how much they had left, you might feel a little overwhelmed at first and think that, okay, this involves a lot of modules. There's accounts, there's spending, there's coaching. But if you think about it, at the core of the question, the data is centered around the resource balances, regardless of if it's spending or coaching, which are represented in Sugar with requisitions. So it would make sense that the report you're looking for that has the data you need would be built around the requisition module. So you can say module is any of, and we'll try requisitions. So now you'll notice I have two filters. The shebang is still active, and we're looking only for the reports that are really focused on the data in requisitions. So now this list is a lot less scary. You can sometimes tell by the title of the report that it's going to be the one that you're looking for, but sometimes it isn't as clear. I definitely recommend opening each report that seems promising in a new tab so that you can check them out without losing your search results. So if I'm trying to figure out what programs have left to spend, I might be like, detail view sounds good. Quick view sounds quick, I like that. Coaching requisitions is not really what I'm looking for because I want to know spending too. Again, coaching specific isn't that helpful. QI specific isn't that helpful. QI specific isn't that helpful. Maybe requisition balances is right. So now I still have all of these search results saved in this tab and I can just pop back to them at any point. So go through the tabs of the reports that you opened and take a look at sort of which fields are available in the report. This one has a lot of fields and maybe my question isn't that nuanced. I just want to know the balances. So I'll keep this up just in case, but it's not really answering my question. Quick view, let's take a look here. So this looks like it has a lot fewer fields and it has the name of the program, They're assigned, remaining, assigned, remaining. It has a couple extra fields that I didn't necessarily need, but they're not hurting anything. They're not confusing. So I would probably end up using this report. Let's just open the last one to see what's in there. Oh, it looks pretty similar, but it has some additional filters, and I don't know, it's just not really working for me. So I will probably use this report if I was trying to answer my original question. So make sure that you also pay attention to the filters on the report. You might say, hey, this is not showing me the data that I need, and it might just be something as simple as updating the filters. So if I wanted to not just see CSQI 21, I wanted to see CSQI and HSQI, I could say that I want the parent funding stream name to contain QI 21, apply that, and voila, it is all of a sudden all of them. So those are the steps that I usually follow when I'm looking for a report. I will say that 9 times out of 10, I find that this procedure gets me what I need. If it doesn't, you can also try keeping the module filter, but getting rid of the shebang, because there are other reports that are valid that are floating around, but you're going to get a much longer list if you do that. You can also try to get rid of the module filter, so now you're not filtering by anything, and just search by the name of the report using a keyword. So whenever I search by keyword in Sugar, I always do %, and then my keyword. So maybe I'm looking for, in this case, maybe we'll look for spending. But this is not usually as effective. I don't try this first because sometimes reports are not named what you think they will be named. So definitely try that shebang and module combination. That's almost always going to get you what you need. If you still can't find what you're looking for, or you find something that's really close but it's like missing a couple fields that you really need, you can always contact us at support@econnectcolorado.org and we can help you out. Make sure when you contact us, you tell us your core question and sort of the parameters like the funding stream or the time period or the county that you're looking at, so we can help you find or make the report you need really quickly. And that's it.